Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe. Help! Like and subscribe! Anyway, thanks very much for watching this channel. Today I'm going to talk about, believe it or believe it not, the Home Office have finally lost the plot. I thought they'd lost the plot some years ago when I was there. Yeah, but seriously, they've gone completely, utterly, they're in a different universe to you and me. Well, assuming that you are thinking straight, and I do believe that you are thinking straight. But to the thing, what they're doing here, believe it or not, it's hard to believe actually, they are recruiting prison officers direct from Africa without face-to-face interviews. They're recruiting them on Zoom, yeah? A bit like this, except supposedly face-to-face. Who knows who they are? Could get somebody who speaks good English to do the interview for them. They won't know until they turn up at the gates, because that is what the people have been doing. Apparently in 2023, the Home Office passed a different visa regime so that people from Africa and other countries could apply for a visa to this country to come and work in what they termed was a skilled profession, the prison service. Well, from what I've seen of the prison service recently, I can imagine the interview going something like this. Hello, sir. Yeah, so where do you live? Oh, yeah, live in Nigeria. Very nice. Nice place, Nigeria. Beautiful scenery. Can you open a door? Yes, I can open the door. Do you know what a key is? A key? Yes, a key to open the door. A key to open the door. Yes, I can. Key to open the door. Right, your visa's in the post, lad. I'll see you at Strange Ways 2 weeks on Sunday. Seriously, it's as bad as that. And apparently, listen, don't just take my word for it, folks. Get yourself a copy of today's Daily Telegraph. There's a report in there by the Home Affairs editor, a guy called Charles Hymas, and he's reporting that two-thirds of all prison officer applications are now coming from places like Nigeria. And they're finding that people are turning up at the gates with suitcases, a wife and 2 or 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many children, but loads of children, expecting that the Home Office, the prison service, are going to find them accommodation and that they will work in the prisons as a prison officer. They're not going to find them accommodation. So, they haven't found any accommodation, but they are going to get a regular wage. And the regular wage is, according to my research, approximately, as an average for a prison officer starting in the first couple of years, £2,250 per month. Yeah? So out of that, you've got to find a rented property. Now, okay, this is a bit extreme, but if you're living if you're going to work at a prison in Greater London, say Pentonville, Wormwood Scrubs, Wandsworth, you know, one of those big prisons, Belmarsh maybe, the average rent for a 3-bedroom terrace house in the Greater London area is £3,000 a month. So you're being paid £2,250 and your rent is £3,000 a month. So doesn't add up, does it? No. So you can't rent a 3-bedroom terraced house. Doesn't matter how many kids you've got. So what do? Well, I tell you what the recruits are doing. Some of them have found that they should commute from outlying areas where the rent is slightly cheaper. So they have been doing that, but they found that the cost is exorbitant. So a number of them, new recruits to the prison service, are sleeping in their cars outside the prison. Seriously. And of course that can only go on for a while. So if they brought the wife and a couple of 3, maybe 4 or 5 children with them, they can't do that, not in one car. So Believe this or believe this not. Have a look in today's Daily Telegraph. They've set up camps, tented camps in the middle of woodlands where it's hard to believe, isn't it? Hey, this is England. Hey, makes you proud to be British, lads. Hey, how are we staffing our prisons? Oh, we've got a tented encampment. They're turning the place into bloody South Africa. It'll be like one of the townships in Joburg in a bit. Seriously, they're setting up tented encampments in woodlands just outside the prison areas, yeah, where they're living in these encampments and working in the prisons as prison officers. And this is skilled employment, folks. Door, key, door, big hat. Come on. What on earth are they thinking about? Listen, all right, so not every recruit from Nigeria, Africa, or wherever it is that they're going, Kenya, wherever they're coming from, is going to work in one of the Greater London prisons. But believe me, the Greater London prisons can't get staff. I mean, why would you work in a place like Wandsworth, Pentonville, the Scrubs, any of these Brixton, any of these Victorian dumps for less money per month than you pay in rent? Why would you do it? You wouldn't, would you? So they're not. So what they're doing is they're recruiting people from South Africa. Listen, let me tell you this. The average monthly wage in Nigeria for a standard manual worker is the princely sum, believe this, check it out yourself, £12 per month in Nigeria. So they get to see a wage over here of £2,250 a month. That's a fortune. Absolutely it is, compared to £12 a month back home. So, yeah, we'll get on the big bird and fly. And they come over here with a visa, legal migrants. These are not coming over on a boat. These are sanctioned by the Home Office. Sanctioned by the Home Office, by our government, into our country, working in what once was a career. It isn't a career anymore. As I've previously said, the average length of time that a new recruit to the prison service remains in service as a prison officer is they're resigning. 50% resign in the first 2 years. 50%. The retention rate is ridiculously low. And they're now, the Prison Governors Association are saying they're having problems because the staff that are being recruited don't speak English properly, don't understand English. And they're giving them, listen, this, they say they give them 6 months robust trainings. No, 6 weeks, sorry, not 6 months. 6 months might be all right. They give them 6 weeks training. But where do they give these 6 weeks training? They don't have any national training schools anymore. Don't have them. No, you don't qualify by passing out from a 3-month course at mine was at Lay Hill, or Wakefield was the other one. Don't do that anymore. It's local recruitment. But local recruitment from Nigeria, from Africa, from Kenya, wherever it is. And so assume that you get $2,250 a month. The average rent for a place, a 3-bedroom terraced house in Birmingham, is £1,135. Deduct that from your $2,250. You've still got to pay your rent. You've still got to pay your rates, your electric, your gas. You've still got to get to and from work, and you've still got to feed your family. You brought with you, eh? I don't know how many children they're arriving with, but they are arriving with children. And so the average salary that they're earning in the prisons is not going to be sufficient for them to maintain a reasonable standard of life. It isn't a reasonable wage for any standard Brit to maintain a standard of life. So what do? Well, you've seen what they do. A a lot of the hostess brigade, I'm not saying all of them, because a lot of them are trying, and a lot of very decent people working in the prison service. So I am not against that. I absolutely understand. And I did it myself 40 odd years ago now. In fact, it's 50 years since I joined. But believe me, some staff are in there trying their best to do a decent job. But if you're working with officers alongside of you that don't speak English properly and are absolutely strapped for cash, who are approached by sophisticated drug dealing inmates and offered an inducement, well, it's going to be difficult. It is difficult. So there you go. That's my little rant for today. And you don't believe me, go and have a look at the Daily Telegraph today. Charles Hymas, the Home Affairs editor, has published an article on African recruits. 2/3 of all recruits now are from Africa. What an absolute, utter disgrace. Why can't they just pay a proper wage? Why don't they pay? I mean, I personally believe that prison staff should be paid a minimum of 40,000 a year today, 40,000 a year, and work 2 weeks on and 1 week off. And if they're working in a top security jail in an isolated location, they should be put up in barracks and paid 50,000 a year, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. What's wrong with that? You'd recruit proper staff then. But they aren't doing, are they? Anyway, as is my wont, I'm going to... that's the song dinger, folks. So before I go and jump in the canal in utter disgust, I'm going to sing a song that I hope will bid all our friends from overseas welcome, just to show that I am not at all in any way prejudiced. I believe if they're coming here to do a fair day's work, then they should get a fair day's pay. And we've flown them into our beautiful country, and I sincerely hope that they will settle down, integrate, get a flat cap, and join in as I sing along a song to welcome our brothers from overseas. Are you sitting comfortably? One last warning, if you're still hanging around now, you get what you deserve. That's the song dinger. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. I'm at Wandsworth, Lord, kumbaya. I'm at Strange Ways, Lord, kumbaya. I'm at the Scrubs, Lord, kumbaya. What the bleeding hell, Lord, kumbaya. God help us. What next? Tales from the jails.